Caitlin Clark says, how do you say bang in Portuguese? It don't matter. Bang! For a preseason game, they flew up from Brazil, lost by 64, and got to make TikToks with Caitlin Clark after the game. Where do I sign up? Bang! Not sure why they played the game in Iowa, because Caitlin Clark, she was still shooting the shot from South America, baby. Bang!
What happens when the most soccer-obsessed nation on earth pauses mid-dribble to worship a basketball player? You get a moment so surreal, so unexpected, it forces even the proudest athletes to drop their egos and pull out their phones. That's exactly what happened when Caitlin Clark, the face of a generation, stepped onto the court against Brazil's national team. Not in a championship, not in the Olympics, but in a preseason exhibition game. And yet, by the time the final buzzer echoed through the arena, the Brazilians weren't just outscored. They were stunned into admiration.
The team were lining up to get autographs. She signed their jerseys. They were getting them to sign. They were getting her to sign their jerseys. She was signing the players' jerseys. This is like Dream Team. This is literally like Dream Team stuff. We haven't seen this since the damn Dream Team. She is literally signing the jerseys of teams she played against. She is signing their jerseys. They're that much in awe of her.
This wasn't your average game. It was a shift in energy, the kind of rare moment when sport becomes something bigger than itself, the kind of moment that forces legends to stop and stare. Brazil, a country known for birthing football gods and World Cup royalty, ended that night chanting the name of a basketball player from Iowa. Not because they lost by 64 points, but because they witnessed something so precise, so powerful, and so poetic that defeat was no longer the story was her. Caitlin Clark didn't just beat Brazil, she converted them.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Are you an amazing player? Congratulations.
Thanks.
You changed the history in basketball.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming here.
And the wildest part? She didn't even play the whole game, just 18 minutes. 18 minutes was all it took for Clark to leave an impression so deep, it felt like a permanent stamp on international basketball history. The buzz wasn't about her stats, although those were absurd. The buzz was about her presence. Brazil came to play basketball. They left as part of a moment they'd never forget.
The team she played against last night, and I understand a lot of this team was young, but the team she played against last night, getting pictures with Caitlin Clark at the end of the game, having her literally sign their jerseys, and those jerseys, you better believe, the coach of the rival team being in shock. Like, this is the dream team. This is the dream team. This is the opponents getting pictures with the dream team.
18 minutes. That's how long Caitlin Clark spent on the hardwood, and that's all it took. In less time than it takes to watch a sitcom, she dropped 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, and left the court with a staggering plus 42 plus minus. It wasn't just a good stat line. It was dominance in the most elegant, efficient form. She didn't need 40 minutes. She didn't need to pad her numbers. She simply played her game, and the court bent around her like gravity pulling everything into orbit.
Brazil, their coaching had no answer whatsoever for Caitlin Clark, and they threw so many different looks at her. Like, I've never seen a team throw so many different looks at a player.
From the first possession, it was clear the Brazilians weren't ready. They threw double teams, switched up their defensive looks, even got physical. None of it mattered. Caitlin responded not with theatrics, but with surgical precision. Step-back threes, no-look assists, effortless off-ball movement. She controlled the tempo like a conductor leading an orchestra, except instead of violins, it was defenders tripping over their own feet. And the crescendo? A deep, logo-range three that didn't just silence the crowd. It cracked the air open.
There you go. Yeah, guess what, guys? Yeah,
Don't bow with that shot. I know, I'm crazy. After you, can we do a TikTok?
That shot didn't just seal the highlight reel. It sealed Brazil's fate. It was a moment that screamed, "You can't guard this." And the beauty? Caitlin didn't even celebrate. No chest thumps, no smirks. She jogged back like it was routine. Because for her, it is. While others are fighting for relevance, Caitlin Clark is composing masterpieces in under 20 minutes.
Like we know that we can be the best front court in this league, so just trying to do the best as we can. I think in this off season we got the shooters that we needed, and as you can see tonight, we have some great shooters out there, which spaces out for both of us. So I think we're in a great direction.
The final buzzer had barely sounded before something truly bizarre happened. The Brazilian team, the same one that tried to stop Caitlin all game, lined up like kids at a concert. Not for post-game handshakes. No, they were holding out jerseys and phones, waiting for autographs and selfies like they were meeting Beyoncé, not the player who had just torched them by 60. It wasn't just one or two. The entire team gathered around her, stunned, smiling, reverent.
Across the footage of the Brazilian national team dancing on Caitlin Clark logo at Carver Arena. Man, a lot of people had mixed reviews about it. Well, it looked like that wasn't the only clip because the entire team got in on the action, bruh. Got in on the jumping on Caitlin Clark logo, stomping on it. Damn.
Clark stood there, calm and collected, signing jerseys for her opponents. An act so rare it felt almost like a glitch in sports tradition. Who gets asked to sign the jersey of a national team they just humiliated? Who earns that kind of admiration from people whose job it is to beat them? This wasn't some PR stunt. There was no camera crew staging a feel-good moment. It was pure, unscripted respect.
They were there. They were knocking her on her ass a couple of times. They were being physical. They were denying her. They didn't try to stop during the game. They just did not have it. They're so excited. They're taking pictures with her after the game. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures with her like it is.
And the visuals? Goosebumps. Imagine a WNBA rookie being swarmed by an international team with more years of experience than she has in the league. Imagine opponents begging her for signatures like they were holding priceless heirlooms. That's not just admiration. That's awe. That's history.
Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to get through real quick. Sorry about that. Bang! Excuse me, ma'am, hold on. I think you dropped something. Oh, it's a dime. Floater, look at that. Big it bang, boom, 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 bang. And her misses are majestic and set up her teammates for success. Look at this soft bounce off the rim, put back by her teammate. Bang! Just stand in the corner, clap your heels together 3 times and cut to the basket. Caitlin Clark will find you every single time.
But it wasn't just the players. The Brazilian head coach, a seasoned veteran who's probably forgotten more about basketball than most will ever learn, gave Caitlin Clark a level of praise usually reserved for Olympic legends. His words didn't sound like a coach analyzing an opponent. They sounded like a fan grappling with something he'd never seen before. His tone wasn't respectful. It was reverent.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
He spoke of her like she was a myth, not a player, a phenomenon. Like seeing Michael Jordan, but in female form, he said, voice barely masking the disbelief. This wasn't the coach hyping up a rising star for the cameras. This was a man genuinely shook by what he'd witnessed. He had no answer for her. His team had no answer for her. And when the game ended, he joined the others in lining up for the Caitlin Clark experience.
Oh boy, did that feel good. Did that feel good from Caitlin Clark opening up the game, pull-up 3, bang, to the logo 3 to close the third quarter, walking off to a standing ovation. Caitlin Clark pulling up from 36 feet out. From start to finish, there was never a doubt in our mind. There was never a time where we even thought to ourselves, is this game going to be close? Indiana comes out, 8-0 run, close out the first quarter, close out the second quarter, close out the third quarter, sit our starters in the fourth quarter, and by the time it's all said and done, the Indiana Fever score more than double the Brazilian national.
Coming from a nation where soccer is religion, this wasn't casual flattery. This was sacred ground. If Brazil could canonize an athlete outside football, they just did. And they didn't just walk away defeated. They walked away converted. That's the kind of power Caitlin Clark has, not just to win games, but to redefine what greatness looks like in real time.
Our first look at Caitlin Clark in her second WNBA season, and she did not disappoint. She was raining threes. Her handle looked tighter than ever. Her vision was on point, and she brought this energy, and she brought the crowd, and everything was just electric because she was on the court.
Now here's where it gets spicy. Just days before, another rising star, Angel Reese, played against this same Brazilian squad. The result? Let's just say the cameras weren't flashing after that game. No autograph lines, no international praise. Just a quiet walk off the court and a few missed layups. The same team that treated Caitlin like royalty treated Angel like just another opponent.
But all in all, Caitlin Clark with a plus 42. She played 18 minutes. She played 18 minutes and was plus 42. Plus 42. 42 in 18 minutes. And there was a stage where it was her with all the rookies and she was still just carrying them. She got 2 assists to, I think, to an Yvonne Ejim. 1 foul, 3 turnovers to 5 assists.
And that's the thing. While Angel Reese is busy curating her social media image and blocking fans who disagree with her takes, Caitlin is out here earning respect in real time. She didn't demand the spotlight. She didn't tweet about being the moment. She became the moment effortlessly. And Brazil? They didn't just recognize it, they celebrated it.
108-44, Caitlin Clark. Did she look rusty? I don't know. 16.6 rebounds, 5 assists, plus 42, plus minus in only 19 minutes of hoops. Caitlin Clark hoops are back. She looked good, folks.
There's a difference between talking like you're the face of the league and being the face of the league. Angel wants to be the future. Caitlin is already the present. One tweets, the other drops 16 in 18 minutes and gets asked for autographs by national teams. There's levels to this, and Brazil made that crystal clear.
And honestly, I didn't plan to shoot that logo 3. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the third, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low. But I was like, why not? Might as well launch one, and it went in, and then Steph used the timeout to get me out. But yeah, that was pretty.
Before the game, Brazil thought they were in on a joke. Videos surfaced of their players stomping on Caitlin Clark's logo at midcourt, laughing, mocking, dancing like they owned the arena. It looked like your typical pre-game shade, a little bulletin board material. But when the game started, that smirk vanished.
Bang! Nope, we don't have moose tracks, no cookie dough either. Don't even ask about cookies and cream. I'll tell you what we do have, though. This is the locals' favorite. They always want 2 scoops, not 1 scoop. Butter pecan! Bang! Oh yeah, she's like that. You're too loading. Let's go.
Caitlin didn't react. She didn't throw shade back. She didn't tweet or bark at the crowd. She stepped on the court and let her game do the talking. That logo they danced on? She made it holy ground. Pull-up threes from 30-plus feet. Crossovers that left defenders spinning. Perfect dimes that sliced through the defense like a hot knife through butter.
We want to compete. We want to be our best. We want to compete at a high level. We've got edgy players. We've got competitive players. And I guarantee you, it doesn't matter if we're playing cards or if we're playing basketball. They want to win. And they want to do what it takes to win and position themselves to win. So I love that about this group. It means that we don't waste time in practice. They don't waste reps. They don't waste moments we have to get better. And it really is a joy to coach.
The same players who tried to clown her were in awe by halftime. And by the end of the game, they were the ones lining up, humbled, desperate to hold a piece of what they just witnessed. Caitlin didn't just respond. She reclaimed the space with silence, precision, and domination.
Yeah, I thought it was electric. It's what you've seen, whether it's from the outside on television or being here broadcasting, but to actually feel the energy. I mean, it is a thing when you talk about having a six man, so to speak. Crowd energy. It gives you a lift. It gives you a boost. It's why we all do what we do, like to feed into these kinds of environments. And so it was a lot of fun.
When Caitlin signed those jerseys, it wasn't just ink. It was a moment of peace, respect, and reverence captured in a signature. No arrogance, no diva behavior. She didn't make them wait. She didn't flash sunglasses or tell anyone to get in line. She just smiled, humbly, genuinely, and delivered.
I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and they have a great impact on me too, and that's why you do it. Even at the end of the day, say I scored 0 points, I'm sure they still would have been there screaming my name and wanting an autograph, and I think that just really kind of puts into perspective the impact, and there's a lot more bigger things in life than basketball.
It was an autograph, sure, but it felt like a generational handshake, a quiet moment of diplomacy between dominance and those who tried and failed to stop it. And it's those moments, the ones without cameras, without headlines, where Caitlin Clark separates herself. She's not just playing the game, she's elevating it. Meanwhile, other players are still figuring out how to monetize their brand. Caitlin is out here becoming the brand, not through ads, but through impact. Signing enemy jerseys is something legends do. And that night, Caitlin Clark looked like the closest thing we've seen to a living legend in decades. Caitlin Clark isn't just having a great season. She's changing the ecosystem of women's basketball. Teams aren't just watching her, they're mimicking her. Entire locker rooms are doing her shooting routine. Foreign coaches are rewriting game plans after one loss to her. And fans? They're showing up in droves like they're catching lightning in a bottle. Brazil didn't just witness a player, they witnessed a shift. Something so undeniable it didn't need commentary. And that's why they lined up for pictures. That's why they took her signature like it was a national treasure. Because even the losing side knew they were part of something special, something rare. Angel Reese might look back 20 years from now and say, I was part of this too. But history's already being written. And Caitlin Clark's name is at the top of every page. She's not just leading the league, she is the league. The players know it, the fans know it. And now, so does Brazil. So let's set the record straight. This wasn't a preview of greatness. It was greatness, right here, right now. Caitlin Clark didn't need 40 minutes to prove her worth. She didn't need headlines or hot takes. She just needed a basketball and 18 minutes. And in that tiny window of time, she delivered something unforgettable. Not just for Indiana, not just for America, but for the world. When the final buzzer sounded, one truth echoed through that arena. We just saw the best player on the planet. And the craziest part? She wasn't even sweating. While others fight for relevance, Caitlin Clark creates legacy, casually, relentlessly, with a smile and a jumper from the parking lot. So if you're wondering what the future of women's basketball looks like, stop, because it's already here. And her name is Caitlin Elizabeth Clark.